I had planned to start my decluttering today. However, our AC is out and we're waiting on parts to be delivered later this afternoon. I'm not going to be sitting in that camper at all today. It gets entirely too hot. It's going to be hot out here too, but we do have areas that we can sit where there's fans and all that. But gotta come up with a new plan for today, and we'll get back on track there. So I'm out in the garden, and I did want to share with you guys that my squash going downhill. We've got vine borers, we've got disease. So in here you can see that's one of your signs of the vine squash borers. They get in there and they start eating stuff and pushing all that out. This entire branch right there, or stem, has been destroyed. This is completely so yeah, this is squash that was developing. It's not, yeah, so it's all going downhill. Do, however, have some positives to report. These are my beans and the farmer ants. So I'm gonna have beans soon. Here's some more here. Oh, you little. Still have new cantaloupe forming. I just learned that this is not just blight. This is a this is another type of virus, and it is contagious. So I really need to get all this out of here. This is my problem. Even though these plants are very, very sick, some of them are still producing new fruits. So do I rip them out and just cut my losses, or do I let the new fruits develop? I don't know. See, unfortunately, over here, it looks like it or something else is spreading to my cantaloupe leaves. These more pointy leaves here, this is cucumber. The more rounded is the cantaloupe, and you can tell it's kind of all in between here. I keep checking these bigger cantaloupes to see if they're ready. I thought maybe it was the same for cantaloupe as it is for like watermelon, where you wait for the vine that it's on to turn brown. But everything I've been reading says that you're supposed to, should be a little soft and sound hollow. But I have no idea. What that means. I was gonna go ahead and rip all this corn out here, because even if there were any, I don't think it's gonna be good. But the cantaloupe is using it to continue to grow, so I'm gonna leave it. Even though that cantaloupe vine on the other side of the fence got hit with the lawnmower, it didn't kill it. It's still doing pretty good, which is amazing. Look, this is the only corn I had left. It was over here, so they've moved over here. Looks like I have some squash I need to go ahead and harvest, because it looks like that guy is getting worms. So I need to get those out of there. Oh, what happened to my radish or beet or whatever this was? Huh. What's going on? Looks all sickly now. Yet another tomato that has succumbed to whatever's taking all my tomatoes out. Oh, these plants are shot up. These pepper plants. You guys just saw me harvest some of these the other day. They weren't this tall, I don't believe. Look at that. Look at that. It don't matter, because they're just going to take them out. My hope here is that these tomatoes, because they're rotting, will just start new tomatoes next year. Guys, I've had these blueberries on these plants for 3 months now, and they are not not doing anything. They're still green. I haven't got a single blueberry, not even a powder blue. They're just not doing anything. And I'm not sure what's going on. This fig is coming to life. Yeah, it's looking good. Might have to pull this out of here and get it planted up somewhere else. Here's the comfrey. I forgot I put a little piece in here. I don't know if you guys remember, because I only mentioned it briefly in a video about the comfrey. I purchased, it was supposed to be Bocking 14, and when mine bloomed, it had white flowers, which is supposedly the ornamental type. So I messaged the lady, and she did get back to me, and she said there's photos of my plants in bloom on my page if you want to double check, but all that I grow is Bocking 14. So I'm not sure if it's my weather conditions, if it reverted, or something, because mine definitely had white blossoms. Does anybody know at what point do I use my echinacea? I don't know. I haven't caught any of these blooms when they were new and beautiful. And this bed's just not doing anything. It's coming out. Maybe we'll get my outdoor composting system set up today. I've got a good pallet right here I could get it set up on. This is a good one, I think. It hasn't. I don't know. It's pretty heavy. Okay, first step down. Got my pallet moved over here near my garden. My little buddy following behind me. Get our chicken wire. They provided in the class. Alright, that took a little minute actually. And I had to slow myself down, tell myself it's okay. Nobody's rushing me. Just take your time. We'll get it done, and we'll get it done right. Because I have this thing in my mind, and I'm learning now that perhaps it comes from somewhere in my childhood. The way that I've been talking to myself all these years has not been very nice. I realize when things get complicated or don't go exactly how I feel like they should go, I get irritable at the drop of a hat, and I start speaking to myself in a way that I don't like. And fairly certain I know where it comes from in my childhood, but trying to change the way I talk to myself. I'm trying to flush out these old traumas and change the wiring in my brain. You know what I mean? Alright. Got some cardboard I had saved. So we're going to put this at the very bottom to cover the holes in the slats of the pallet. I was told to put this on a pallet so that it's got the airflow and also the moisture. When you wet it, it's not going to stay saturated. It can pass through. And he was saying, like, if you get ants in your compost, spray them with water, they'll wash out. I don't know how true that is, but we'll see. So I'm going to lay this cardboard down. Okay, got the cardboard down. And basically this one is going to be a lasagna style, browns and greens. So I'm going to put a layer of brown, wet it down, layer of green, wet it down until it's full. And I'm supposed to wrap a tarp around it. I'm going to have to look around and see if I can find one. This cardboard you want to spray until it gets completely saturated. You see how there's some darker spots and some lighter spots? Just keep going. Okay, they also gave us a bag of pine shavings, and I'm going to go ahead and add that because that layer of carbon browns is very, very thin. We're going to work on this throughout the day as I'm doing stuff around the yard. Got that, so we're going to wet it again. Did you know that even though these are brown, they're still a green? They're still a nitrogen. This does not count as carbon. but only because it didn't fall off the tree naturally. I was very confused by this, and the way he explained it is in the winter when the leaves fall from the tree, before they fall, they send all their nutrients and all that back into the rootstock of the tree to prepare for winter. So when the leaves in that case fall to the ground, they no longer have the nitrogen. They are then a carbon. But in the event of something like a storm that knocked this branch off, the tree, the plant, the leaves, that it didn't have time to send all that back into the rootstock. So it's still in the leaves and ready to be used as nitrogen. I just thought about what I could do to jumpstart this a little bit. Cleaned out the quail coop. This actually has a lot of black soldier fly larvae in there. I'm gonna wash my hands anyway, but these are really good treats for the chickens. Sits out here mostly covered, and occasionally dig through here, pull out some larvae for them, give them some treats. But I think this will be a good jump start for my compost. Alright, I got that in there, plus an eggplant. Wet that all down, and I'm just going to keep repeating the steps, but I'm not going to put any more of this hot quail bedding in there. I just came over here to look at this to see if there were vine borers. And there's my little friend. Hi, buddy. How you doing? Getting fat? This is another good source of minerals, vitamins, all that stuff. This is my comfrey. I'm just going to pull some of these outer leaves off and drop those down in there. Ooh, I need to get this guy back in the ground so he can actually do what he's meant to do. Okay, so just continuing on with the layers until it's full. I just thought about something else that I was excited to share with you guys. Talking with my boyfriend about the worm bin. He found a video of a guy talking about how he's turning his worm bin into a source of income. And my boyfriend got really, really excited. And we are going to start a worm farm. So I've got my little worm bin I'm going to take care of for now. We've got a couple projects. He's got a couple projects that he's got to get done that are priorities. He's right now in the process of digging a trench for some electrical to go out to our big shop. And then after that, we've got to figure out a situation for our chickens. I'm thinking that, well, we're thinking we want them to be mobile. So we're thinking about building a chicken tractor, or still converting this big space into a big coop and run. We're not sure yet. Just looking at our options. And then after that is when we're going to get started setting up our worm farm operation. And I'm really excited about that. Alright, we got some pokeweed in there. Got some banana leaves from last year's banana. Died on its own over winter. I just caught Buddy, my good rooster, doing that to my tomato. I've been waiting for this thing to ripen for so long. Ooh. Well, there's my lasagna. What do you guys think? Might be a little carbon heavy. That's a pretty thin layer of greens there, but please don't mind my outfit. It's hot. I need a tarp to cover and wrap it to keep that moisture in. But the only one I found, my boyfriend needed today, so I'll have to find something else. And the goal is for me to be flipping this every 2 weeks. So help me stay on track with that. I'm gonna write it on my calendar that I made it today, and then in 2 weeks we can flip it, which I'll need a tarp for, so I can lay the tarp out and just flip it onto itself and then reconstruct. Alright, out of the 3 squash, that were ready to be picked. They all have holes in them. We'll salvage this one. These two I'm throwing straight in my compost. And I almost feel like I should give up, you know, like go ahead and pull all this out. But I don't know, like we've got new growth. There's new growth still coming out of there. New growth still coming out of these, you know. Alright, I just realized that I was supposed to turn the camera on to end the video, and I'm getting way off topic. So let me go ahead and say goodbye. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Hopefully the parts for our AC actually arrived today, because so far they have not. We slept in the heat last night, and it may be another night in the heat, but hopefully we get those so we can get it fixed and we can get to work on the inside of our home. I'm excited, you guys. I'll see you in the next one.